Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of CEO and Market Expert Interviews. I'm your host, Lucian. Some of you know me as Triangle Investor. Today, I will welcome back Thomas Lamp, Chief Executive Officer for Myriad Uranium Corp. Thomas, as always, great to have you.
It's great to be here. Good to see you again.
Thanks. Thomas, you have recently returned from Wyoming from site visit at your Copper Mountain Uranium Project. What were you doing there? Who else was there? Give us some details of that site visit, please.
Yeah, I went with our geologist and technical leader, George Thunderbolt, and our landman, Bo Beitman. The three of us toured the site. We had beautiful weather. It's located right off the highway. I just want to mention it has 5G cell service. So perfect weather. We walked the site. We looked at the old mines there. In the news release, my recent news release, I mentioned just the Arrowhead mine. That's in the middle of our project that produced 500,000 pounds at 0.15%. We looked at that. There's still lots of material there. And according to people who worked there a long time ago that are still alive, there may still be a lot of uranium there. That is not accounted for in our disclosure about historic estimates. We looked at the Bonanza mine. That's another historical mine we have in our project area that produced 780,000 pounds at 1.3%, very high grade. There may still be material there, so we looked at that. Importantly, we checked the location of historical drill holes, and we verified that the coordinates that we have are accurate. This is very helpful because we have grade and other interval information and regarding a lot of these holes. And if we know the location and it's exact, that's going to help us prove those historic pounds and make them current, bring them current. We also did some testing in our news release. Readers will see we took count readings of radioactivity at the surface in various places. There's a lot of uranium there still all over the place at surface. And at the Arrowhead mine, we there's 750 ppm just in the sand and dirt in between the boulders at surface. So that's what we did.
Nice.
But a very good visit. And really, we were laying the groundwork for the geophysics we're doing right now, and then the drilling that's going to start very soon.
Yeah, you have announced yesterday, I believe, initiation of the geophysical survey at Copper Mountain. What is the plan with that, and for how long will it last?
It's going to last a total of 10 days to 2 weeks. It's underway already. The plan is to really get high definition, tight spaced ground magnetometer information. That's going to enable us to really understand the subsurface a lot better and target our drilling. Drilling is going to start. So we finished the survey. We're going to do the analysis in the week that follows completion. And we already have holes planned and targeted, but we're going to be able to refine the targeting. And the drilling will start probably end of August or most likely beginning of September at some point. And so that's what the magnetometer survey is going to help us with our drill targeting.
Yeah. Do you have already drillers secured for that drilling program? And especially,
yes.
Can you tell me more? How many meters do you plan to drill over there?
Yeah. So the meters, it's variable. We're not exactly sure of the meters, although we have an estimate. We're going to be doing about $3.2 million US worth of meters. According to the plan we had about a month ago. But this is evolving. What we are doing is approximately 83, 84 holes, could be as high as 86.
Okay.
And the depths of those holes are going to be between 500 feet and some are going to be as deep as 1,000 feet. And so actually, I don't want to confirm the meterage until we complete the geophysics. And then we'll have a plan. But that gives everybody a good idea. It's a lot of holes and it will be a lot of meters.
Okay. What about permits? You have them all in place?
We are in the application process. We've submitted our drill application to the Wyoming Authority, and we already are interacting with them. It's going very well, so we're optimistic that they will get it, but we don't have it yet.
Okay, but generally, how is the permitting process looking in Wyoming? When you, let's say, compare it with Niger, where you're operating also?
Well, I would say Niger, it's very straightforward. I mean, it's a desert, so there's no culture. There's nothing to see in any direction there. So it's easy from all perspectives to get approval to drill and to start drilling. Wyoming, there is more to it. You have to do an archaeological survey, and you have to do a wildlife survey. We're very fortunate, just where Copper Mountain is positioned, there's not much archaeological things of archaeological interest. It was not a place where the Indians, for example, were very active. And also the wildlife, fortunately, we're not in a sage grouse zone. This is a bird that lives on the ground, and even better, we're not anywhere near where they meet to breed. So there are some restrictions relating to hunting season and a few other things relating to birds, raptors and things. But those restrictions apply in different time periods than we're worried about. There's a hunting season that starts end of November. So there's a more detailed application process. There is a cost to it, a few tens of thousands, $20,000, that type of thing. And you do end up waiting a couple months to hear back. Well, there's a bit of interaction. So there's more to it, but it's still a good process. If you want to do a really big drill program over a long period of time, and you're going to be disturbing the ground a lot, and you're going to be interfering with some of these wildlife times, then it's a more involved application process than what we are doing. But we'll probably go through that next spring, when hopefully we'll be drilling, we hope, through the spring and summer and into the fall next year with a really ambitious program.
Yeah, I see. Your plan is to bring historical resources current under NI 43-101 category. My question is how much and what kind of work you have to do to achieve that, and what are some timelines for that? When can we expect that?
Well, I'm excited to start drilling and then be able to really comment with more accuracy. We are focused on the high-grade zone or area of special interest at Canning. Canning was the central pit of the 6-pit mine plan that Union Pacific had for their conventional uranium mine that they were planning in 1977, 78, 79. And we're drilling that high-grade zone. This is the area with the most uranium inside the pit that had the most uranium, up to 20 million pounds, according to Union Pacific's estimates. We're going to focus on that, and our geologist, wants us to be conservative in terms of what we tell the public. So I'll refrain from commenting on what our target is in terms of the pounds, but we're confident we're going to get an inferred resource. So for this area, and there is some hope that we'll get even a higher category. It would be great if we could get some indicated for this zone. So historically, Union Pacific estimated this is for their mine planning purposes. They had different categories than we have now. For their mine planning purposes, 15 to 30 million pounds, depending on how they did the calculations, what they included in the estimates. But this is only down to 183 meters. They very rarely drilled any deeper than that. And they did not go for high grade that was in these semi-vertical faults, where the high grade is located in these structures. They were looking for horizontal lying, low to medium grade pods for their bulk large scale mine plan. So not only are we going to drill and try and bring these historic 15 to 30 million pounds current, hopefully we'll get partway there with this drill program. Don't know how far, and then we'll really get into it in the spring. But we also want to go well beyond this. Union Pacific was pretty confident that you could even get as high as 65 million pounds or beyond. And think about that. this is based on 2,000 drill holes that Union Pacific drilled. This is not just a few drill holes where they were getting a very kind of speculative target or inferred resource. This is 2,000 drill holes, and they estimated 65 million pounds and beyond is quite possible. So we're going to start working our way there. It's very interesting. We think we can get higher grade. We think we can get more volume than Union Pacific estimated. If you look at our news release from yesterday, I commented that Union Pacific spent about 117 million in Canadian dollars, present dollars, today's dollars, or 78 million US, doing lots of drilling and other work in the 1970s. But since then, big companies have been, and serious groups have taken a look at Copper Mountain, but the timing with regard to the spikes in the uranium price, and last cycle, there was Fukushima and other things that interrupted. But we had Anaconda, that's ARCO. We had Neutron Energy, that's now Encore Energy. These groups took a very serious deep dive into Copper Mountain, and they really believe there's a lot more uranium there than Union Pacific estimated, and higher grades and potential for big discoveries. So we're actually going to get into we have their management memos and their studies. And so there's so much more that we know as management than the public knows. And we're very excited. So I went on a little bit longer about this, but I just want to communicate that.
No, brilliant. I remember our interview a few months ago. You told me that you were in search for more data about the project, and then we had the other interview a few weeks after that, and you told me then that you find another piece of those documents, another box, a few boxes, etc. So actually, did you find all the data you wanted to have?
No, we have not found all the data we wanted, but we did find more. And we found some very good data, and we've been integrating it into our digital, GIS systems. And we're actually now we're able to model the subsurface much better. We have really good drilling information about, in fact, the area we're about to drill, 80, 85 holes, historic holes. And we have very good information about those holes, and we have the logs for those holes. We can understand, the rocks and the structures. And we've been able to model that. And we've only just started to do that in the last few weeks. It's a big leap forward in our understanding of that area. I think we can take that historic drilling, we can add the drilling we're about to do, and we're going to get, this is not a geologist would be more conservative about what they're going to say about it, because that's what they have to do. However, as CEO, I see what's coming, and I think we're going to have, a very exciting thing to discuss with the public that we see in the subsurface. And I'm very excited about going deeper. We used conservative language in the news release, but a surprising number of the historic holes drilled by Union Pacific terminated in mineralization. And then they cut off the holes because they just were drilling it to 183 meters, more or less vertically, and for their mine plan. But these holes terminated in mineralization. The mineralization continues, and the high grade was sitting in these near vertical faults, but they were drilling vertically. So we are going to come at them at an angle and orthogonally, or so that we can pierce the structures and the high grade, hopefully. So I'm excited about how this is going to go. Yeah, and the data has helped us. We have found other data on top of that. So that's why we now say 15 to 30 million pounds is the historic estimate for the mine plan that Union Pacific was putting together. They had a phase 2 pre-feasibility that was sort of what we were able to see. They had a more advanced planning too that we have some of. But we now are able to say that they actually estimated that the potential based on known deposits and the targets that they had based on drilling and other knowledge of over 65 million pounds. Compare that against our comps in Wyoming. We are potentially, I should say, one of the biggest projects in Wyoming. Could even be the biggest ultimately.
Okay.
Neutron Energy, now Encore, Neutron Energy in their management memos said this could be, and our geologist would hesitate to say this, or but these management memos and Neutron say could be a couple £100 million, and this is very exciting. And there's higher grade available. It's in there, so I can say it.
Nice, Thomas. I know that Copper Mountain is now your flagship project, and all your attention is on that one. But can you give me an update on Niger projects and the status of your exploration claims over there?
Well, I'm sure that almost all your viewers understand Niger, the situation there.
Yeah.
Everybody's following it. GoviX has lost its licenses.
Yeah.
Orano has lost Imararan. Things are not, it's not stable there.
Yeah.
So that's it for us in Niger. We're going to focus entirely on Copper Mountain and United States projects in the best possible jurisdictions. And we now have excellent shareholders that are with us, that have they're completely with us with regard to our vision for the company. And of course, we're very, very happy being in Wyoming with this project that, as we talked about before the interview here, that we think this is going to lead to a big re-rating for the company once it's properly understood. And so that's it. We're focused on the United States.
Okay. I know it's not your focus. You also have a third project in your portfolio, and that is a joint venture on your Millen Mountain Gold project in Nova Scotia, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Give us an update, short update on what's going on over there.
Well, it's an easy update in that there is no update. Things have not changed. Gold junior like that is not, or projects like that are not getting value at the moment. It's not worth investing in. However, we still hold our interest, and let's wait and see what happens. Maybe we'll do a deal on it.
Okay,
but
short
that's
answer.
to be seen.
Sure. Thomas, on June 25th, you have closed the first tranche of your private placement, raising almost $3 million. Congrats on that, by the way. How much money do you plan to raise in the second tranche, and when do you plan to finish that?
Yeah, we announced 5 million, and so theoretically it'd be another 2.1, and we're well on our way. We have a lot of interest. As I mentioned to you, it is July. We were thinking we'd close it quickly, but people are on holiday, and I'm as guilty as anybody. I'm in Italy at the moment for a wedding, and so I can't blame anybody else also for being on holiday. So we'll be a few more weeks while everybody gets things sorted, and I think we'll probably raise more. We do have good use for it, which is more drilling, to make sure that we have enough money for our drilling. We were anyway, if people were going to look closely at our budget and compare against our bank balance, et cetera, which everybody can do, sometime in October, November, we were probably going to go back to the market to raise more money. Anyway, we've done the back of the envelope math, pros and cons of raising a little bit more now versus waiting. We'll probably end up taking a bit extra money just so we have the amount that we want. We are also doing a few things. Our downhole logging, we're going to dial that up a little bit so we were able to give, for example, more real-time results as we drill the holes, do a few things like that. We get good ROI from that type of thing. So we'll be increasing our exploration budget, our drill budget, just a little bit, and we'll take a bit more money.
Got it. Can you speak more about the participants in this private placement? Maybe if you cannot disclose names, I understand, sure. But was there any interest from funds, insiders, family offices? Can you give us a breakdown of the shareholders, of the new shareholders in the company?
Out of the 2.9 million, I put in a significant chunk. People can look at the insider reports. In fact, I believe one of our big investors filed an insider report, a notice, maybe yesterday, last night, or this morning. So people can see a big, very well-known uranium investor has come in that's well-known to people who follow Global Atomic, and who's done very big deals in the past, and has built companies, helped build companies from our size and sold for multi-billion-dollar exits. So that is the vision for our company. Really well-known investors have come in. We also have some funds from Toronto, from the East Coast US that have come in. And we have more coming in this round that have already committed. We have a few very sophisticated groups that have come in. People will be able to figure out who they are. But I've been asked to not just say it
of course.
For the moment exactly who they are, but please look at for example, our insider filings, and I think there was a filing that was just made that I think people will go, okay, now these guys they have very serious backers. They're on their way.
Okay. Thomas, in one of your latest press releases, I saw that you have entered into a new consulting services agreement. My question is, do you plan to move more aggressively on the marketing side as you move forward with Copper Mountain?
We have to, and we will. We're going to do a combination. Now that we're in this funny spot that we actually have a very low market cap relative to what we have, which is, okay, they're historic pounds, but it's a very big deposit, historic. And you compare us against comps, and there are juniors out there who are merely drilling holes to try to find some uranium and then promote themselves. We believe they have higher market caps than we do. They've been promoting and spending half their budgets on promotion. That's normal. I mean, that happens out there a lot. We've been spending very little money on promotion relative to our size and our even relative to our size and our bank balance. We hardly spend anything. We're in this funny position where we have really great assets. So we're going to get analyst coverage, I'm pretty sure, of different kinds. We're already talking with groups and banks that usually they say we have 100 million market cap minimum, et cetera. We're starting to engage with them anyway, even though we have a small market cap. So we're going to have the more institutional, sophisticated, retail investors can be very sophisticated too, but you understand what I mean, and your viewers will too. We have the smart money that is the sector money that coming in and is following us, but we also need to appeal and communicate with retail investors, the average investors, because that's important too. So we're gonna come at it from both angles. We do need to communicate with everybody ongoing. So we're going to do different kinds of marketing to retail investors, and then we'll also have the more analyst side, which, as we've discussed in the past, and today, earlier before our interview, we are looking at a big change in our valuation, I think, and it will be happening, before too long, is my view.
Okay, final question, people, team. You have a new addition, Mr. Douglas Christopherson has joined the company's technical committee. What does he bring to the company? And my question, do you plan to maybe hire some other people when Copper Mountain will move forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So Doug Christopherson is a retired eminent mining engineer. He's an expert that has worked all over the world. He does due diligence and analyzes projects for people. Now it's one of the main things he does, and he does it for one of our big investors. So Doug took an initial look at us on behalf of this investor group and really liked what he saw. And he did a deep dive over about 6 weeks into our data room and liked it more and more. And that's attracted more and more investors through this, this group that asked him to do due diligence. In fact, he likes it so much, and we like him. We asked him to join our advisory and technical committee, and he's been a wonderful addition. He's been helping with drill planning, geophysics, the strategy with regard to how to maximize a return on spend to bring historic resources current. And and we are going to keep adding bench strength. People will see there'll be news releases coming with regard to technical and strategic people that will be joining our team. And yes, we will be adding people.
Okay, Okay, Thomas, final few words for new potential shareholders. Any message for them?
Yeah, I think this is just the pivot point for the company. You know, if you want to come in now or take a look at us, put us on the ticker, even if you just like to watch companies that like ours, this is the point where the inflection point, because we have a small market cap, we're raising the money to drill, and we have historic pounds. Once we bring those current and we get the word out about what we have, things get very exciting, as you know. So very exciting time for investors and people who just want to watch a company get built and grow. And of course, I think M&A is coming in this space. And if we have one of the biggest deposits in Wyoming in the best jurisdiction, it's going to be the focus. I believe M&A is coming. So it's exciting times for us.
Definitely, and for the whole uranium sector. That was Thomas Lamb, CEO of Myriad Uranium. Thomas, thank you for coming to my show. It was a great chat and looking forward to host you again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.